with Jim Porter, Second Vice President for the NRA. Great to see you as always, buddy.
Oh, Jenny, great to be with you. And I can't thank you enough for the great work you do for all of us.
Oh, I love doing it, and I think, you know, what we do and what you see here, the turnout speaks a lot for where this whole movement is headed.
Well, I mean, the greatest thing about it is we're in Washington, D.C. And to have the great conservative movement here, I think I heard a figure of some 11,000 people in and out. It's just absolutely remarkable. And to the speaker, they're all pro-gun, pro-Second Amendment supporters and working with us to be warriors for freedom.
And I was just talking to you off the set, but we were talking about how, you know, you're doing something right when you got the antis on the run.
Well, just like we say down south, when you got all the pigs squealing, you know you're doing something right. And that's what we're doing here. You know, the more good things that we do, the more that our opposition hollers and screams about it. But you know we're doing the right thing when we have them so worked up.
Yeah. And they are. They're hollering and screaming about the same old thing. That's the thing. They never, you know, they don't have anything else to fight for. They keep pushing these bans. Now it's high capacity. But what does it gain? Nothing.
Well, I mean, history teaches us, going back hundreds of years, that the only scientific evidence you have on any of this is the fact that when you have more gun control, you have more crime. You look right here in the District of Columbia, when through the efforts of the NRA and our membership, when we had the Second Amendment affirmed by the Supreme Court and their gun bans thrown out, what happened in D.C.? Crime went down. Yep. And now you have the phenomena of the mayor being somewhat concerned about how many people are lining up to buy gun permits. And it's not hard to understand when you've got thousands of people that are out on the streets and should be in jail. So who's going to protect them? It's certainly not going to be the police and the mayor of Washington, D.C.
You know, I was just going to talk to you about that because it's pretty amazing. The mayor comes out and he says he's very concerned that more people are buying a firearm for safety and for self-protection. What can you expect when you look around this country, just like Wayne was talking about yesterday, and you've got police departments laying off their officers? Who else does anybody have to turn to but themselves for self-protection? And they can't rely on the police all the time anyway.
Well, I think there's something, there are thousands of warrants, arrest warrants that hadn't been served in Washington, D.C. because they don't have the time to do it. And therefore, you've got a lot of criminals out on the street. Yet the mayor seems to not understand why people want to protect themselves because they don't have any choice. This is exercising their freedom, and it's self-protection, pure and simple.
What did you think yesterday when Wayne was talking about calling on Congress for national right to carry? What were your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's a wonderful thought, and it's something that should be done. Right now, you have the right to carry in 48 states. All but 2 states in this country have passed right to carry, which really shows you the true numbers of where the support of the Second Amendment and the right to keep and bear arms is. And to have a federal statute for that where everyone could carry nationwide, it's the only thing that really makes sense. But there's no question about it. The government cannot protect us. People want the right to protect themselves, and it is just a basic human right. And that's all we're fighting for.
You know, you look at CPAC too, I mean, it's really a popular forum for many of these presidential hopefuls. You know, Mitt Romney's here, you got Newt Gingrich here. Your thoughts heading into that election?
Well, I'm excited about the election. As I alluded to before, it's so exciting that every candidate to the person is pro-gun and pro-Second Amendment and pro-individual rights. And it's just wonderful for us to have had that impact, and all of the gun owners and all of the Second Amendment enthusiasts in this country have supported that, and you see where we are now, that even the Democrats are running on our issues.
Yeah. And you know, you see where we are now. Amazing. Last year here at CPAC, you know, there's a lot of if and what's going to happen, and here we are. I mean, we've made major gains at Congress. We've made major gains in state houses around the country, but as you said, the work's never done.
Oh, the work's not even close to being done. You listen to even some of the speeches given by our members of our United States Supreme Court. And I think Justice Breyer clearly stated the other day that the right to keep and bear arms is not an individual right. So elections do have consequences, and it's vitally important to get a precedent in there. It's going to appoint more people in the vein of John Roberts and Sam Alito, as opposed to Elena Kagan, who clearly stated in her talks to Congress that the Second Amendment was settled law. Yet, when she had an opportunity to actually rule on it as a Supreme Court justice, she said it wasn't an individual right. So those are very, very disturbing things. But through the strength of our movement, through the strength of the electorate, 2010 was a start. 2012 is going to be awfully good for all of us who believe in individual freedom. But it's just, again, it's not the stopping point; it's a starting point.
And we're heading back to Pittsburgh for the NRA annual meeting.
Well, Pittsburgh is great. You know, we have so many hundreds of thousands of members in that area, and you know, it's just like going home to mama to be there. This is a family affair. The NRA is a family-oriented organization. It'll be a great event. It will be a great gathering, and I urge everyone who's within driving distance to come and be part of their family and be with us there in Pittsburgh.
You know, Jim, I know you've been in this fight for a long time, but I've got to ask you, and I know Joe Gregory even mentioned yesterday about more people reading the Constitution than he's ever seen. You travel around the country a lot. Have you ever seen Americans as concerned as they are right now about where our freedoms are headed? I mean, you look to Egypt, and we were just talking, and people say it could never happen in America, and the closest we have to that is what happened in New Orleans. I mean, don't you think people are saying, wait a second, where are we going?
Well, I think everybody had a wake-up call when after the Democrats took over Congress in 2006, and I think they had a huge shock when President Obama was elected in 2008. Most folks never would believe that there would be a run on our rights and on individual rights like there's been in this country.
So fast.
And people are so concerned that where this government wants to take us is to a European socialistic bureaucratic type government, and it's been a wake-up call. Frankly, it's been a good thing, because you have dedicated, motivated people who understand that you've got to work. Each and every one of us, each and every vote is vitally important. So everyone is engaged, and I think they'll be more engaged.